the but it's like the path of truth is just so healthy and it just feels so right. It's like you people might not realize it, but that's way your way. Well, I feel like that's way my way of loving everyone is to like forge my path of truth because otherwise, who would I be? I wouldn't be myself, you know. You have to follow your own self where it's leading. So
Oh,
yeah.
may I ask you, like for people who are interested in making music their career, for musicians, for aspiring artists, explain your process of how you write songs. Do they start as poems? Is it like something where you wake up and you have like a phrase that just came to mind? Like what what is the like where does your inspiration come from?
Usually it is a lot of the time it is that I might think of one phrase and I feel like, wow, that is a good start of a song or that's a chorus and then I'm like on the vibe of that and I it's like I have to jump on the ride of that and I kind of instinctually know, yes, I this is going somewhere. So it will be like melody and some lyrics together usually. I'm more probably melodic minded, so I wouldn't write like paragraphs of just words and or just full songs with no melody. It would usually incorporate at least just a melody or words and melody together. And I have written songs in different ways because I went to college in Dublin and did a degree in songwriting, basically. And so it was a commercial modern music degree. So I was in the songwriting stream. So we had a class of songwriting techniques. So it did help with finding different ways of writing songs. Like, for example, watching a film or looking at a painting and then write, giving yourself the task of right, I'm going to write a song based on this film or this artwork and that's been cool because I find if I choose a different way to write a song, I'll get a very unique song. Like it'll be maybe a different, slightly different feel to my usual stuff. Um, but yeah, the for the most part, the way I instinctually write is usually when there's like an emotion or I've dated someone or and I kind of like need to express something about the dynamic and um fascination with toxic relationships and all that. And and yeah, just trying to express that point of view that I feel is maybe individual to me, but not necessarily individual to me, you know, something that a lot of people must experience, but I like presenting that point of view that is not just generic. It's but it still has a lot of resonance as well. Um, for certain songs. Um, but yeah, I just feel I guess you get an idea and then if you feel it's going somewhere, you just have to get in the zone and keep you know, sometimes it takes a while to finally break. You could be on an idea for ages and not feel that you know what to do next, but you just gotta, if you feel something will come of it, you just gotta keep hammering it in and seeing what happens. Yeah, one of the last songs I wrote, I had come up with the verses. And because the verses were really like telling the story, and I really liked the verses, and they had a great melody, and they really told the story. And I was just like, I don't know what how the chorus can go. And I tried out a couple of choruses, and it just didn't feel quite right. And sometimes it's good when you know it doesn't feel quite right, because that's your intuition sort of guiding you towards, okay, well, it might end up being something else, and that's okay. So I left it for ages. And then somebody contacted me saying, oh, hey, we're trying to write songs for the Eurovision. We have producers here. Um, if you give us a brief, we could try and write a song, we're doing this camp or something. And I kind of said, well, I have this song here and I can't figure out the chorus. And they were like, yeah, yeah, send it on. But then when I sent it to them, I kind of thought, well, I don't, I think something in me was like, I don't want them to write it. So it forced me to like, then I like wrote a bit more and I was like, oh, actually, I have written the chorus. So here's that bit and I just need production now. And then they're like, oh, sorry, we were just really working on like, songs from scratch, so we didn't get around to it. So by the time, because they'd asked me for a song, that motivated me to like come up with something. And then I did write a chorus that I felt fit. So it's weird the way sometimes you need a bit of a kick or motivation. Yeah, so I have a couple of songs that will be released ASAP when I get them out, or maybe I'll try and do some big promotion campaign and help them get a bit of get of airplay. Yeah.
Out of all the songs that you've written, do you have any favorite songs or songs that you feel like most closely showcase like who you are as a person or your music? Or like if someone were to ask you like what would be the first songs to hear from you? Do you have like a little list maybe?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people seem to like, and I like it. It's probably my most sort of upbeat, like nice song. It's called Dance With Me, and it's definitely a song that has been the most requested over my, career. People seem to like that song. I like that song. I like singing it. I had two different versions. I wrote it 10 years ago, and it was kind of slightly faster, and that version of it is on one of my EPs on Bandcamp. But then more recently, I released it on another EP. It's the first track on Revolve Evolve EP. And it's a slightly more, I don't know, more soul vibe to it. Like I changed the beat slightly. So there's like two versions of the song, but I guess the most recent one is the most sort of listened to or most popular. And yeah, it's called Dance With Me. I made a music video and everything. So, I mean, I would say check that out first. But then there's a whole load of songs that, um, there's a whole treasure trove of of my songs then after that, if people like that one that they can explore. Flame Game is another one that the music video turned out really nice. It just was a filmmaking camp thing that I was at in Italy, and we just shot this really quick music video. It was very spontaneous of the moment, and um it got a lot of views, I guess, and seemed to be really cool. But it's for Flame Game. So Dance With Me and Flame Game, and they both have they're both like contemporary sounding, but you can definitely hear the sort of bluesy or vintage sound inspiration in them, even though they're bringing it to a more contemporary production, I guess. Yeah.
I definitely have heard like like a folky bluesgrass 60s influence in quite a
Mm.
few of your songs. Yeah,
And then there are some that I went a bit more electronic with, or like Tightrope is a bit more, but I really like that kind of style as well. And the producer I was working with at the time was really good at that. So I just went for it. But yeah, it is nice to be able to draw on all the sounds and genres that you like and create something. My lyrics, they always have to mean something to me, and I I don't think my lyrics are super, you know, flamboyant or, you know, detailed or anything, but I just try and paint a picture with, it's like trying to make it concise, but being, you know, creating a vibe and being honest. in the lyrics somehow. And, I like simple, keeping it simple is always, I think you can do so many clever things with simplicity, in my opinion. And you want them to resonate with people and that really they'll find something in them that, they like. And I think that it's not going to be super predictable or you know because I guess you kind of had this idea of like, oh yeah, I need to play, the Three Arena or like, these big venues. But I'm thinking like where my music's leading me and where my life's leading me, I think that it'll be way more fulfilling and probably realistic that I get to play at, you know, festivals with meanings behind them that I resonate with and taking it to more, I don't know, like communities that are I don't know, rootsy communities that have a good community vibe. I don't know what what I'm trying to say, but the shared interests could be cool. And I think maybe it's actually more beneficial to focus on like communities of where you can share your music rather than sort of this like height of like mainstream trying to be like really because I think when people get really mainstream and it's really promoted, they get a lot of fans, but maybe not maybe people that it's more of a it's more like coffee or like it's not like really people really feel connected to the music. It's more like awareness of it and people just turn it on because it's what everyone listens to and stuff. But I do like the idea of forming my own dedicated audience and also taking it to places that would really appreciate my songs and it's a more intimate feel. So yeah, anything like house gigs and festivals that involve music and wellness. And I'd love to play for, I've played for what I have done is, I'm not very political at all, but I did get a couple of gigs playing for this political party, some of their events. And I do like playing events. So it would be so cool if I could play like at events that are like maybe not political, but more organizations that just want some good music. And maybe I'll get the gig because I'm more into the wellness kind of stuff, but I also play music, so I do like doing events. So I don't know if I've described it the best, but that did cross my mind before. Like it'd be so cool to play for some organization that I really like or something like that.
I mean, yeah, you reminded me, there's, oh my God. In the United States, there's like this event called the Pork Fest. Have you heard of Pork Fest?
No,
No,
no.
I haven't been, but it's basically like, like it's like a bunch of anarchists.
Right.
Like, and they're like libertarian voluntarism or voluntarism, like basically people who are like the government's corrupt. We need to all, support each other as we the people, but like we the people as in like, you know, not anyone who does shady stuff in politics behind the scenes. And I don't know, I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet, but I they probably very likely have a music scene there. Very likely. I will
Okay.
let you know. I will let you know. Well, actually, you're from
Yeah.
Ireland. You're from Ireland. There, uh, sometimes, like, I think what I heard from someone is like at a certain point, like they all kind of like just start like having a really grand like party time where they drink and they're all just like socializing, having a party like after every event. So I mean, you might like it. Just it might get a little rowdy. I don't know, but but yeah, Pork Fest is definitely something that I yeah. And then there's actually another guy who does a podcast called um it's called Rebunked, and it's basically he interviews many of the similar people to terrain theory. I think he's interviewed like Tom Cowan and stuff like yeah,
Yeah,
he has. And
yeah.
and he's a musician too. He has quite a few like events, like festivals. I'm gonna have to when I research them, I'll send them your way. I'll cut this part out,
Sure.
like sorry.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'll cut the parts out that are irrelevant in this interview. The ones
Yeah,
where I'm just like
definitely like I would this is like so cool. It'd be such a like guilty pleasure almost to play like really out there events and like get in with crowds that, are like super, you know, um co controversial, but that I find a guilty pleasure in and be like, yeah, I'll sing for you. Here's my fee. Yeah, I can play. Here's my music. I just love that. I mean, I played for a political party's event, so why not play for like, sort of out there kind of like quirky audiences. I just love that. I just love non-conventional ways of doing things.
and the great thing too, the great thing is that like because they're more into like this space of like they'll very likely like support you like really strongly.
Yeah, yeah, because what they're doing is something that they have to be absolutely fully dedicated into. So I'll be like, yeah, man, yes, let me play for you.
It'll be like it's like the American woman with the hat, but
Yeah.
it's like you with the like voluntarism.
That's what I love about music. It's a great way of meeting people, and everyone loves a musician. Like it's such a it's such a non-controversial job. It appeals to a broad range of people, and you never offend. Well, I don't know, depending on, the type of music or whatever, but like it's fairly inoffensive to be a musician. I love that. But then I can just, be into whatever I want.
Well, that's awesome. I feel like there's an American tour coming your way soon.
Yeah, maybe now that I can drive as well, I'm much more equipped. Hmm.
Oh wait, can you would you be able to drive in the United States having a an Irish
I've
license?
looked into it. I've looked into it. I think as a tourist, you can, of course, you can just use your Irish license. But it's very easy also to get an international permit. I suppose it's a temporary permit. You just send off for it and it's like $15 or something, and or 15 euro, 10 euro or something. And you just if you have a license, you can apply for one of the international permits, and then you have that in the US. You can definitely drive, yeah. It's just on the other side of the road, so I have to bear that in mind.
Yeah, I forgot we do everything backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe we do it here because not many people drive on the left. It's only a couple of countries really,
Oh,
or a few. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because a lot of Europe are on the right side as well.
oh,
It
I didn't
really
know
is.
that.
It's just like Ireland, UK, and Australia, I think, and maybe South Africa. Um, yeah, and then everywhere else is on the right.
Because I know I did want to yeah, I did want to bring this up because you mentioned like your experience with RTE and Yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to say like the people it's like a feeling thing. The people who feel that you're wholesome, that
Mm.
you know, you've got like a good set of morals, that like that that when you sing like love comes out from your heart, like the people who resonate with you will like will be your longevity, will be your support
Mm.
over time because they it's an energetic thing. Like, I mean, I know people kind of like talk about NPCs and stuff, like calling people NPCs, and you know, I get a little nervous calling people NPCs because I used to be an NPC. But I was.
Yeah,
But like
that
the
got
music's kind of
yeah.
NPC, you know, the mainstream music's kind of NPC-ish.
Yeah, it's so NPC. Yeah, like I heard that for the first time. The guy that I wrote the last two songs about, uh, when I was kind of hanging out with him, he mentioned like NPC, and I was like, "What? Like, like what?" And I just thought like, God, you really see that you're just above everyone else, don't you? Like that's what I took from it, and I was like, well, okay, you can call people NPCs, but stop it. We're all in this together. You know, we're all human. You know, you can't just dissociate with people. We all have similar drives and emotions and needs. You know, and I don't know. Maybe I just that's the meaning I got from it. But maybe that's just because it was him. You know, saying it. And I was just like, you just dehumanized everyone by calling them NPC. But I don't know. It's just my opinion.
In regards to the NPC thing, like, so I kind of I started awakening on TikTok. Well, when I mean
Mm,
awakening, I mean like learning about things like, oh, like being able to question, like, what if you know, what if there is like a human trafficking like thing in Hollywood, and what if like all
mm,
these conspiracy theories started popping up, and you know, it came to the point where I ran across different spiritual communities on TikTok.
sure.
I You could say I was kind of part of them, but not really. I didn't realize that like there's this whole like sector of like I don't know, like some people are claiming that like some spiritual communities are like Semitism, like
Uh-huh.
anti-Semitism and stuff like that. Dude, I don't even want to get that's it's just all weird. But there I ran across like sometimes on TikTok you can run across different people's lives, and there's like groups of people like either debating about something, or so I was kind of on TikTok, all of these spiritual communities on live streams were kind of like showing up, and I just decided to listen to one of them.
Mm.
There's a guy, and like there are a few different. I might cut this out, unless it actually would help TikTok like be like, okay, be wary of people who are like the guy that you were seeing. Um, so there's a guy who's talking about the difference between spirit, soul, people who are awakened, people who are NPCs, and there is a young woman who came on, and then he started just berating her, telling her that she's an NPC.
Oh.
And she was like, you know, I feel like that's kind of rude, like to call me an NPC. And I was like commenting in the comment section. I'm like, she's allowed to have her own opinion. You go, don't listen. It was just like, but it was just, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how some people actually play God, where they are like telling people like you're an NPC, like you're not awakened, and it's like, whoa, they're actually aren't they a part of your consciousness? Like, aren't they a reflection of you? I don't know. What do you think about all
Yeah.
this stuff?
Yeah, I guess it really yeah, it depends on the context that you're using it in and what you actually mean. There are certain words. I mean, someone saying NPC, maybe they're just talking about people who haven't haven't really questioned authority yet, or, you know, in a certain context, maybe it would make sense. But yeah, I can see how it could be like used to sort of shame people, which shouldn't really be it. And it's kind of hypocritical in a way of of you to just call someone an NPC. Like, yeah, so I don't know, because it's like the way this guy used it is kind of like him seeing himself as the main character in his film and everyone else just like NPC. It's like um it just made me uncomfortable. It's like ew. But
Was
I
he the
don't know
most
what context some people use it in. Maybe it makes sense, but for me, when I hear it, it just makes me think of that.
was he the
Kind of.
most recent guy you saw? Or
Well, it was in the summer. I do like staying single, mainly because I like my own company and I like to do my own thing, like keep my spiritual aura cleansed or like and it's hard to find people that you want to date that are into all this stuff. And I think even and like I have some close friends who I see myself in, and I've dated I know a lot about narcissism, and it comes up, if anyone listens to my songs, they're gonna realize what I'm singing about. I mean, I've never explicitly, I don't like using the word narcissist, but if you know what it actually means, then I feel it's appropriate. And, the way the empath gets attracted to a narcissist, and, it's happened so many times in my life, and I really understand it now inside out. And I don't sort of promote that fact, but I use the fact that I know a lot about it to um, create the pictures in my songs and try and give an accurate perspective in my songs. So the expression that comes out is an hopefully showing an awareness of that dynamic. And I've had a lot of experience, like over and over and over and over again. And I know I'm not alone. Like I have close female friends who are just out of relationships as well, with guys that could definitely would tick a lot of boxes for me, and narcissism. And I can't remember where I was going with this. I can't remember.
oh,
Um,
narcissism and like
but I
being
was
able to
gonna I
depict
was
it.
talking about, what was it previous to that? I don't know. But my
Oh,
friends,
NPCs?
oh yeah, anyway, I think it's an important thing to be real. Oh no, dating and stuff. Yeah. I haven't seen anyone seeing we were talking about seeing guys or whatever. So for me, I think to create a real relationship, it would take maybe a bit of time. It wouldn't be something, that would follow the sort of cliche ways of coming about. I think I have to find my partner in ways that I wouldn't expect, because I think a lot of what we see as being how people fall in love, like normal ways, are actually just the narcissistic dynamic. And I see my friends close to me who are very empathic women, and they also um, get into these relationships with narcissists. Like you have to call them what they are if you know what they are. And it always follows the same playbook of like they're so nice in the beginning, and the love bombing. And love bombing is like seen as like, oh yeah, that we really click and we're really getting on, and it just seems so like it meant to be. And every time it seems, but I've experienced that meant to be feeling so many times that I know it's just not real anymore. And so now it's like, well, wow, what even is love? Because it's not what we've been told it is. We've got to really get real about who we are and what we want to express ourselves as being. Because I would not want to be in a dynamic where that's me. I'm like trapped and stuck and unable to grow. And, I want to be open-minded about even who I am, and hopefully find someone that you can feel like you can grow together, rather than like, that's it now. You're kind of like bonded.
Oh, yeah. I I would love to ask you, like, if you don't mind, maybe this could be like maybe this could be the last question.
Sure.
Other
Uh,
than maybe the last one is like any final thoughts
for sure. Yeah.
and messages. Um, so like a two-part question to this topic because I it's so important. I just feel like it's so important, and I'd love to hear your advice. What have been the signs that you've seen in your life that show you or give you red flags that someone is narcissistic, or you could say maybe energy vampire, or however you would term it, someone who is intentionally trying to like take from you, I guess, or someone who's more transactional than transformational, maybe however you term it. And then the other part of the question would be, um, how do you ensure within yourself your own discernment as well as having compassion for these people, and how do you establish your boundaries?
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Now the thing about it is that sometimes it most of the time when you are dealing with a narcissist, they're not even aware that that's what they're doing. In their worldview, it's very kind of, I guess you could say more intellectual. So from their point of view, their narcissism is telling them, no, I love this person. Therefore I'm going to do this. So a lot of the time they don't even realize that it is controlling. So you're kind of on your own with discerning. And the other thing is that I think for me, what has really been beneficial, and I would really kind of say this is more of how you should find the indicators, is I think it's just self-observation, being very in tune with yourself, because a lot of the time it might just be that I'll be in a situation and I'm like, oh, I don't usually respond like that, or like I find myself acting a certain way and I'm like, oh Jesus, well, usually when I'm acting this way, I know from experience that the kind of like this is where the dynamic's leading, and so I don't sort of I allow the person to be their individual self, and one yeah. So one thing is that when you're dating, what I used to do, I feel, is that you'd be so sort of maybe it's a codependency that you've learned, but I started saying in my mind, I'm going to sit here and just see this person, allow them to be them, rather than sort of attaching my own, I don't know even what it is, but an energy or needs. Because I really felt that helped me to detach when I distance myself, and almost like I'm going to appreciate this person as a separate person. They're their own person. Because that's kind of what you want from a relationship, is the person you're with is to respect you as your own person. So anytime I'm, say, on a date or whatever, I'm like, I'm here, I'm over here, but I'm going to see you as your own person. Because I think what we do in a lot of dates is go into it and have these like our own needs entwined with them, and like, and we need to have so many things in common, and it gets sort of, and then when they do something you don't like, it's kind of like really affects you even more. Whereas if you just say, oh, I try and not be affected so much, see they're their own unique person, and maybe they are a narcissist, but you'll see it better if you allow them to to show you who they are, and don't just allow what is rather than resisting what is. And yeah, so a lot of it really is that, and then becoming so self-aware that I know my reactions, and sometimes it'll be a sort of internal emotional response to something, some way that they're being, or something someone says, and it'll seem maybe um, it'll seem not justified or it'll seem out of place, but no, I still get that gut emotion there. So this must, and usually it does mean something. And so rather than me labeling everyone narcissist, I try and just sort of gauge from red flags from my own my own inner reactions and from patterns that have come up before. It helps me to know myself really. Like, yeah, it's just about knowing yourself. And then you become so aware that you get into a dynamic and you're fully aware that you're kind of in a dynamic with the narcissist, but you're just so addicted. It's like oh, now I see it's an addiction because I'm still engaging in this situation even though I know it's not within my interest. But I just find it so entertaining or addictive. And sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves and say, yeah, I'm fully aware here and I'm still choosing to go into this, but I don't have any excuses anymore. I know so much about this that I'm not under any illusions, but and yet I still go towards it because of the addiction. Because apparently all empaths have an addiction to narcissists, so it's like any other addiction. And but I feel as though like any other addiction, when you're focusing on health, you feel less of a need, or when you're focusing on, you know, being healthy and cleansing and detoxing your life, you're less inclined to choose to go towards whether it be drugs or narcissists. And they are quite addictive, and that not all their traits are like bad, that they can show you parts of yourself sometimes and you can glean positive things from it, but you just have to know that it's not sustainable in the long run and for your health and overall happiness. So I just try and be as realistic as possible and minimize my emotional thinking. And even when my emotional thinking comes up of like, oh, but it's so fun or whatever, I'm aware that that's my emotional thinking. So I think the awareness at least it'll make you less susceptible to sort of get fully invested in something. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's such an important topic, I feel like
Yeah,
really
I
important.
know. And I rarely get the chance to speak about it. But I did speak to one friend and she was like, Layla, you could do a podcast about this. And but I just don't feel that it's easier for me to relay this information to someone that, when I'm talking to an actual person that I feel would get it. Because I wouldn't know where to start if I just randomly started talking about it, but I find myself explaining it quite well when I'm talking to someone who it might relate or who might relate to it or connect to it. Like when I was talking to my friend and talking to you now. So, I don't know.
Or you can complain about that guy that you're dating or something. Be like, this guy. Like just
It comes with so many. There's the good sides as well. Like there were a lot of upsides to the whole relationship thing I had with him. But like great massages and like so like sometimes it's hard because there's like two two different sides to a dynamic.
I don't,
Yes.
yeah, it's like what you said. I don't think people actually know that they're love bombing. Like I
No.
don't know sometimes when I'm love bombing. Like even just talking with people, like
Yeah, I mean it's important not to be self-conscious or whatever, but it's really what vibes you're picking up and to trust your because who knows why it is that you have these gut feelings, but it's some inner thing that's got your best interests at heart. like who's to say that things are right or wrong, but you've got to actually realize that your your best interests are worth protecting, and sometimes it means, picking up on the red flags and not going with the flow that other people need you to go. So, yeah.
Any final messages, thoughts?
Um, well, people should check out my music, and my name's Leila Jane, Leila Jane, and do check out all my music on all the streaming platforms, whichever one you prefer to listen to. I'm sure I'm on there. YouTube, I have a lot of cool music videos, and it'd be great if people are interested and want to get to know me and my music and enjoy listening to it. So that would be great, Final thoughts. Yeah, and also I love this conversation, and it was nice to be able to express those things, and it feels great. So I really appreciate you having me on here, and hopefully we'll get to chat again sometime soon.